Yo, this is a no spoiler review of Geostorm, which stars Gerard Butler as Jake Lawson and Jim Sturgis as his brother Max. And it's about a man made satellite system designed to protect the Earth from an increase in extreme weather. And basically, it neutralizes would be natural disasters until it starts fucking shit up. And then it could possibly cause a plethora of storms all over the world, which would be a geostorm. So, geostorm is basically what happens when the day after tomorrow and Armageddon have a baby, and they name it Gravity. And they all live in a little town called, insert any random conspiracy movie. So, when you watch it, it reminds you of a lot of other movies. I just wanted less Armageddon and more Day After Tomorrow. There wasn't too much gravity. That's why that's the baby. So anyway, I'm kind of all over the place with my thoughts here. I'll start with this though. This movie had some of the best visual effects that CGI I've seen in a very long time. And some people always find a way to complain about CGI. Just know that people complain that the stars in Titanic, the fucking stars, weren't accurate. So don't believe all that other shit. Listen to me. This was some great visual effects here. It was severe cold fronts moving over beaches and tsunamis moving over deserts. I could have watched an entire movie of those scenes. Honestly, the only issue is that they were too short and too few and far between. So next, the casting. I like Gerard Butler as the lead role. He does scruffy, arrogant, asshole genius pretty well. I wasn't all that convinced by Abby Cornish, who plays Sarah Wilson. I was never sold on her toughness. She's kind of this kick-ass character, but not convincingly. Also, Jim Sturgis, Gerard's character's brother, he was okay in this role. I wasn't overly impressed, but he was okay. And while I'm on the subject, their relationship, the brothers, there was this subplot of those two guys and their love-hate relationship. A bit cliche, but I liked it. I admit it hit me right in the feels for a minute. I also think it was necessary because I tried to imagine the movie without it, and that was whack. So as cliche as it may have been, it was necessary. A few more things I didn't like. It was a little slow, a little boring sometimes. Like I said, I wanted more natural disaster. You're teased early on, and then you don't see much more of that until the end. And my next dislike, this was some seriously cliche shit going on. Some of the action scenes, well, there's a cringeworthy chase scene. The whole movie was just peppered with cheesy little one-liners. There were also quite a few plot conveniences, so wrapping up here, I still managed to enjoy this, admittedly just the natural disaster scenes, because at its core, the conspiracy shit was very flimsy and far-fetched, that whole plot, and the motive was even more flimsy and just as far-fetched, and it just played out like every one of these movies you've ever seen. And as awesome as the visual effects were, there just weren't a lot of them. So I give this a 5.5 out of 10. Very middle of the road, nothing spectacular. I'd say if you're a special effects nut, it's matinee worthy because that's the only thing that saved it. Otherwise, wait for Redbox. That's about it. So follow me on Twitter at MovieBuffChick1. Subscribe, hit me up.